good afternoon, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you on the 16th edition of Global Udan webinar series. This is an initiative from the Directorate Development of International Trade Services and WTO Directorate of ICI. This series we have seen a tremendous success in this Global Udan webinar series. And I really thank from bottom of my heart to all the participants. I think they've been so good in responding, attending this very important global webinar series. And almost every series, on an average, we have 1,000+ participants who are responding to our initiative and encouraging us to have this global Udan series, bring variety of topics, and have the opportunity to listen to what's happening and explore global professional opportunities. And I think that is where we are looking at. And this is an opportunity which each chartered accountants, especially I would say small and medium practitioners, which we are now looking ahead in a rapidly evolving international landscape. So today's topic, very important, India-UK Free Trade Agreement, which we know on 24th, which was signed, takeaway for Indian professionals. So these are, I think this was a very important topic which we thought and apt after a week after the treaty or the FTA agreement has been signed, and none other than our eminent speaker, Piyush, who's joined with us with vast experience. Piyush has, I think, in international trade and policy, his insight, I'm sure, will be able to understand how Indian professionals can position themselves to leverage the India-UK FTA. So thank you, Piyush, so much for joining. And I think truly an honor, privilege for all the participants to listen to you. And also have CA Nidhi Agarwal, who's the moderator for today's session. With her experience and global outlook, we look forward to a rich and engaging dialogue. I'm sure we'll have an excellent interaction. And also welcome the participants once again for this very important Global Udan webinar series. So just to update on the upcoming and the ongoing initiatives of this directorate, of course, we had an excellent GCC summit at New Delhi. With the success, now we have planned to have another GCC summit on 29th and 30th of August, which is there at Gift City, Ahmedabad. So this is again, I would request the members, the participants to please register yourself. The link for registration is already open, and we have excellent speakers from all over the country who are running existing GCCs, or for members who are interested to have their own GCC. I think this would be an important platform for you to look up to more global opportunities. Another important initiative which we took 1.5 years back was the US outsourcing certificate courses. So we did excellently well. We have 9 batches already done, the ninth getting completed by end of this week. And then we have the UK course also starting soon. So for US, we have 1,000+ members already attended the course. More than 900 members have already qualified this certificate course. And looking to this UK FTA and the opportunities at UK market, we thought of launching the UK certificate course also. So 1st of July, we got the approval, and most likely the faculties would be finalized by another week, 10 days. And by end of August, we plan to start the UK certificate course. So this is again an important initiative from the directorate, and some more like the Global Udan series, which we are doing. We have an ITech training programs, which is planned and scheduled in the month of September, between mid-September to end of September. This is at our Center of Excellence, Hyderabad. And this is done with Ministry of External Affairs, where actually we provide capacity building support to international delegates from various countries. So ITech countries, we have the international delegates, and we have very good interaction at our Center of Excellence, Hyderabad. And of course, few important MOUs which we have signed with Services Export Promotion Council, which we signed on CA Day. This is again, very important, promoting the global mobility of Indian chartered accountants, and various other initiatives which this directorate has taken. So I think this is an important platform where we have expert like Piyush, where I would sincerely request the participants to engage actively, ask your question, and learning interaction with the experts. So thank you so much, and over to you, Nidhi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A very good afternoon to all of you. I see Nidhi Agrawal, Vice Chairperson of Gwalior branch of CIRC of ICAI, playing a role as a moderator for this webinar series of UDAN. It is my pleasure to welcome you all for today's seminar on the topic of growing strategic and economic importance, that is India UK FTA takeaways for Indian professionals. The India UK FTA currently in its advanced stages represents not just a trade pact but a broader vision of bilateral cooperation. It aims to unlock significant economic potential, enhance market access, and foster professional mobility between two historically connected and forward looking nations. Today, we'll be delving into what this agreement could mean specifically for Indian professionals. For the UK, facing a post Brexit skilled labor shortage, this agreement opens the door to high quality Indian talents in key sectors. Now, we have a 1 hour and 15-minute session on India UK FTA takeaways for Indian professionals. And our eminent speaker from Jaipur, Mr. Piyush Bansalji, will give you an insight on this. So, over to you, sir. I would like to briefly introduce Sir Piyush Bansalji. He's into the partnership firm named Piyush Puja and Associates. He is helping business owners increase cash flow and reduce stress by providing bookkeeping, financial services, auditing, and virtual CFO services. So he's currently serving 30 plus clients in USA, UK, and UAE market with accounting outsourcing activities. He has also served in as a assistant manager in KPMG. He has a 2 years and 6 months of experience in broking industry, asset management industry, wealth management industry, and many more. He has also assisted and created risk assurance model in discussion with the business heads of the company for L&T Mutual Fund and Birla Sun Life AMC in line with IFC requirement of the Companies Act 2013. He has also served in Deloitte, Huskin, and Sells Audit Assurance for 11 months and more. So he has a good input in foreign services. With that, I would like to hand over to Piyush sir. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you for the introduction. And before I start, I would like to really thank Mr. CA Abhay Chajar and his team to really come up with some great initiative like this. And I think as we are going global and India is becoming more and more in the center of the trade for everything, things are changing dynamically. And Institute has been a very good forefront in that matter and aggressively working around in terms of helping the professionals upskill, bring the initiatives to them so that they get aware of the opportunities, benefits, all those things. So thank you, Abhay Chajar and the team for such great initiatives and having me over here. Coming to the topic, I think as we are all aware, the recent agreement, free trade agreement between UK and India. We'll be talking a lot about it in the coming 1 hour. And the main highlights around it would be in terms of what are the key parameters or what are the base for which this event happened. And then what are the benefits, opportunities for the professionals who are working out there, for the professionals who are in a practice, and what are the skills gaps that have been created because of that, and what are the key actionable steps that can be taken to really get move forward in terms of that and be able to capitalize this vast opportunity that we have through this FTA agreement. So as I start, I'll just share a presentation. Just let me know if it's visible to all. Nidhi, is it visible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So just to get started with the whole part of it, free trade agreement. So this is a great initiative taken by the two trade centers from UK and from India, and the whole idea behind it was to really help develop the turnover or trades that is there in UK and India. and it has created a good synergy for the European market and for the Indian market to really collaborate and move forward towards the globalization era that we are in. Having said that, in today's session, we'll be covering this majorly these six sections that you're talking about. We'll start with what is the FTA that highlights that they are bringing in, and what are the key benefits that is bringing it to the Indian industry, to the professionals out there, and to the practicing chartered accountants. Along with that, there are certain services that we can offer collectively uh, that can help us to access the vast market of UK and Europe as such. And to do so, what is the skills and knowledge that would be required to really be able to execute and implement those services to the best of our knowledge? And lastly, we'll talk about in terms of for those people who are just getting started, how or what they can do to take those initial steps to build their practice towards a global practice initiative rather than just concentrating on their local or national market. So the first part, we'll start with the key highlights of FTA. Now, this FTA agreement, which the two centers have started talking about, it was last 2 years, and in this January there was something which was agreed upon, and this July they have signed it in a proper regards, and now it's into implementation, provided that we rectify the internally all the acts that are there, and once the rectification is done, it would be implemented on a ASAP basis. Now, this partnership that you're talking about is a very strategic partnership, and considering the like a historical leverage that we have with UK, not only that, but it is also helping the both nations to grow and develop their GDP to a large extent. That is, they are looking forward to move to around $120 billion market till 2030, which currently is 20 billion right now. So you can see the kind of potential that both countries are seeing within themselves, and the kind of market that is opening up. That is the level of insight that is there for us to consider. Having said that, there are few things that have been brought in the goods part and the service part of it. When we talk about the product industry, manufacturing industry, lot of exporters in India will be able to access the UK market with substantial 0% tariff and duties, which will be not only economical for the European market as such, but also would be a very convenient source for the Indian market to grow in that part. Currently, for the exporting part, Europe has been a very good frontier for the textile industry, for engineering goods and all. And with this great initiative agreement, FTA, these industry would now have a better duty-free exchange with limited compliance, with more electronically governed environment, so that the paper manual works can be reduced and or digital activities could go along. Also, just to add one part over here, UK has been moving towards a lot of digital activities, and they have make text digital. This is something which is very commonly used over there. That is going on along with that, and through that, lot of the procedural activities are getting digitalized, and with that, lot of export activities, custom activities, and other compliance activities will also get streamlined for us when it comes to the goods industry that we're talking about. Going forward, service industry, like this is something which is the gem for all the professions that we're talking about. Um, so for the service industry, what is happening is uh, the commercial presence of Indian firm is now more accessible in the UK market. Now, if you are a practicing chartered accountant, you can go and set up your entity in UK without any equity gaps or without any restrictions in terms of post joint ventures, and you can freely move towards accessing the entire market which is there. Now, in my experience of dealing with this industry, UK industry specifically, there's a lot of gap in terms of execution because they have economy which is a stable economy, but they are having challenges in terms of execution, in terms of technical expertise and knowledge resources to really execute those economical things in terms of IT, finance, telecom, manufacturing. So they are in a need of professionals out there. And with this FTA, this access, our Indian firms have now access to these firms where you can set up a firm out there, you can register your firm out there, and you will have the equal rights in terms of the bidding, the services that we're talking about. There are a lot of things that will be coming up in the coming slides. And the most important part is like the UK tender market, which is approximately 38 billion per annum. That kind of tender market is open for all the Indian market also, provided you are set up over there. So this is a one good initiative and highlight that comes from the FTA agreement. About the trade facilitations and SMEs, as I told you, they are going digital out there. And because of that, a lot of activities are getting paperless, it's getting digitalized, and there are specific counters out there to help small and medium entrepreneurs in terms of guidance, nurturing, and developing the whole thing. Along with that, there are a lot of like we have in India of all the e-signature, digital certificates and all. They are having a good norm and a good IT infrastructure now with them, where there's a good virtual service that can be shared at a very good space. So when I talk about a virtual space, what happens is a lot of times a virtual service is gets limited because a lot of paperwork or a lot of activities are hindered because it needs to be done physically. But as things are going digital now, this virtual space, virtual era is increasing a lot. And a lot of people are going into it. And the acceptability of having a professional with a cost benefit, obviously, but with a quality guidance and with a quality execution, that is something the market is looking for from India. This is something which is really good that comes around it. The agreement that we have signed with UK business centers, it holds a very high standards and committees. So, for example, if any business which are going out there with their tech innovations or with their clean technologies or with their any innovations or social or contributions in that matter, all those things will be protected with this agreement, and it will be protected at a very high standards. So if any of these industries are going out there and innovating out there or bringing new technologies out there, they'll be protected and backed with a very firm law in hands. And in terms of the intellectual property, they will have the rights in a very good retention. So this will also create more transparency and trust in terms of the trade centers so that new innovations and sustainability could be rolled and mobilized in both the markets. So this is one of the good initiatives that comes out of the agreement. Having said that, the whole agreement is revolving around the goods part, service part, excise part, but there are other things also which are relevant for the professionals context. So all those people who are working in India as a chartered accountant in could be in a multinational or could be in an industry, and if they are planning to move out in UK for a certain context, for work experience or to reallocate whatever it is, this FTA agreement has also brought a lot of new good news for these professions. The first thing is about the mobility and career growth. So visas has been always been a challenge when we go to UK in that for the work experience in that regard. But in this FTA, they have announced that more than 1,800 slots are available for professionals, which includes your chefs, your accountants, your financial professionals, doctors, legal, everything. So we have around 1,800 more dedicated slots available in terms of visa, where if you go through those slots, you'll have your visa process much easier and much conveniently. Second important step is this mutual recognition agreement. MRS are under being negotiation right now between our institute and between the Institute of UK. And we are like negotiating under in terms of recognizing the CA degree over there. So there are a lot of fast track programs that are coming in where we can upskill easily through like like they'll be skipping a couple of exams for us so that we don't have to go the whole process of doing it. And not only just exams part, but also in terms of the delivery part, it is very different in that context. So I have been in a word with couple of team with the word with this team, and the whole idea that I got about the fast track process relating to the degree, the qualification recognition that we're talking about. Now, an Indian CA could be a CPA out there and recognized under the umbrella, and the kind of exam structure that they'll be following, it would be pretty different. Like it won't be more of a technical ground, it would be in terms of more in terms of the execution round. Like, for example, the question that will be more covered over there would be in regards to considering your past experience of the given situation, how would you deal with it? So the exams over there would have a different approach to it. But this kind of uh, recognition that they are bringing in, that is really one. So I understand within a 6 month or a year, you can become a practicing chartered accountant over there with ease, with same recognition as the practicing chartered accountant in UK itself. Second, lastly, it's the dual social contribution that is something really important. Like, for example, the insurance cost. Whenever you move out over there, you have to get insurance done for you, which is an employment insurance, which is usually done in India also. Now, usually there's an overlap which happens where if you are a part of Indian entity and you're just going out over there for some time, then you need to get those insurance done and all over there also. So there is relaxation in that regards, where if you are going over there for a period less than 3 years, then the Indian insurance would be good enough, and you won't have to incur a second cost of getting yourself insured over there in terms of health or whatever it is. Some new service lines that I've been talking about. Now, as this is something which is not just uh, open to UK market, it is globally applicable to all. But in context of UK, as we are going more global, things are changing very rapidly. And there are a lot of transactions which are happening within the international market, with different countries altogether. So there are a lot of good opportunities that are coming in between cross-border tax advisory, transfer pricing, custom valuation. And believe me, I have seen these clients chasing for us for giving us a good insight in terms of what would be the what would be the compliance requirement or what would be the pricing strategy in case we are doing a transaction with India or with UAE or with USA. All those things have been taken has been uh, demanded by the clients a lot more. And this space is something which is very new for these people in that regard. So if you can place yourself as an expert, you will be in front of the line to help them out, and we'll be able to have that premium that comes along with it. Along with it, second thing is about the ESG reporting and sustainability. Now, lot of countries sustainability and ecological aspect of the whole industry has been taken care of. And this has been becoming a very niche industry where there are very little professionals working. And when there's such niche industry in that regards, the demand for these kind of services is increasing at each day that we are talking about. So this is a one good service that you can talk about and you can go along with that. There are a lot of certifications and courses available out there through which you can just get a good grasp around it. And then if you place it properly, you can start executing in that regards. The last part is the digital trade compliances. Obviously, as we are talking about the make data digital in UK, a lot of things are happening over there, and digitalization is a very common thing which is happening over there. So if we have a IT background also or a technical tech background also, then in that regards, we can really help them build those systems in terms of e-invoicing and digitalization, data localization in that regards. Data analysis is something which is, I think, booming everywhere. And similarly over there also in UK, this is something which is demanded a lot. Last part which is there, which is available for the professionals who are into service industry, that is networking and collaboration.
Mm.
So we can have access to these UK professional bodies through, which is ICIW and ACCA, where all the events that they are doing in terms of the knowledge series or the training programs, we can be a equal part in that. And at the same time, when we are visiting physically or doing online, we can really network out there. So once you have the right certifications with you and right knowledge with you, these networking and collaboration programs would be really help you to get those initial projects or the new projects that you're looking for. Because we have been talking a lot in terms of how to get new clients for the or from UK or from UAE and all. And the best thing that I see, which is happening, which is working for us at least, is that be visible in front of them. And visibility, creating this visibility, having participating in these professional bodies, being part of these events, and being actively going into this event, being a physical or an online, is a very good medium to build new opportunities for you and for your phone. Having said that, if there are any specific questions that come along, do let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Are there any questions that coming in? Because I'm not able to see. Okay. So having said that, now comes to the main core part of it. So for the chartered accountants who are practicing in India, there are a lot of opportunities that are coming in, and the key opportunities is, I think, a lot of people in India is now thinking like, how can we go global, and what are the new things that are coming in. And this section would really help you out in terms of giving you a right insight of how things can work out for you. So the first part is market entry and expansion. That I talked about it initially. So now what is happening is, as a practicing chartered accountants, we can now create new branches out there, and we can register our firms out there. Earlier, before this FTA, there was a lot of caps in terms of equity, like the partnership level that we have and equity holding that we have. And there was also a lot of requirement in terms of joint ventures, where a lot of preferences were given to the UK entity. But now with this FTA coming in, this has been a very good relief for us. Like for example, now if you are setting up it's similar to like setting up your new practice in UK. And with the streamlined processes and procedures, it would be much easier for now, for us at least, to really set up our practice and be in front of them, be visible to them. One key highlight that I want to show over here is in terms of the ground level stuff which is happening is a lot of private equity acquisitions are happening. So a lot of people from Indian firms are acquiring firms which are based out on UK. And a lot of small firms and medium firms are ready to sell out their equity holding to these firms so that they can leverage the benefit in terms of outsourcing and getting things done. And the experience that I have about the practicing chartered accountants in UK, they are not they are good in the work that they do, but Indians Indian practicing Indian chartered accountants are way more aggressive in terms of their working and all. So they have a very relaxed working, balanced lifestyle, which which if work along with an Indian practice chartered accountant, we can really mobilize the revenue and growth in that regards. So how it is happening right now is there's a UK firm who is the face of the firm over there, and then there's an Indian firm who go into an acquisition and hold certain equity of that specific firm. Now this could be like a 50-50 kind of version of, or could be major on the Indian side or major on the UK side. But the whole idea is that the clients which you are getting from, it's like a quick access to the local clients of UK, right, sitting in the India. So it's a very good strategical move where instead of developing that repo or getting new clients and doing that haywire, go and different activities in terms of marketing or networking, you can simply just go over there, look out for firms who would be interested in acquiring, and you can acquire those firms. And once you do that, automatically the clients that they have becomes your client, and you start working as a outsourcing unit in India for them. So it's a very good like a go-to approach when it comes to uh, getting new clients also. And with this FTA, this has become much more simpler and streamlined. Though it's in just the initial stage where the equity holdings, the negotiations, the terms, that is a bit complicated part of it. But those as things are as we are talking about it, things are happening out there, and people are becoming much more. These processes have become much more streamlined and more transparent in that regard. Next thing that I want to talk about is the qualification recognitions, which I just mentioned. So there is a fast track program available for CAI between ICA and ICAW, which would I think which has certain exams that you clear off, and once that exams have been clear off, you can have an ICAEW overhead, and you get the same recognition which is there as the firm in UK as such. So this is something which I will suggest as a mandatory thing if you're looking out to go into UK market, because ultimately when you go out there, people look out and ask you in terms of are you qualified, are you an ICAW qualified CPA, and all those kind of things. And when it comes to like ACCA, ICAW, and ICAI, I think ICAW is more prominent in UK because of being the local uh, governing body in that regard. So having these qualifications would add a good frontier in your uh, in your practice as well. So you just need to identify a partner who can be a qualified uh, ICAW practicing accountant, and within a year they'll be able to have that qualification, and they'll be able to move and showcase themselves as an expert in their tax or audit requirements which comes along with it. Next part is the outsourcing and the back office hubs. This, I think, is something which has been talking about a lot. And for last 5 years, 6 years, I'm seeing a lot of demand going into it. Because as the primary thing that I understand the reason because of this is that India is the largest resource of technical and knowledgeable people. Even if we talk about the ICAI, we have the largest number of qualified people over here as compared to other bodies, which gives us a good competitive edge in terms of other markets like Philippines or any other country that we talk about. And also, I think the the kind of I would put it this way, like the kind of interest for the new generation to opt for an accounting or audit background in countries like UK, UAE, or USA is declining, because of which there are a lot of people who are not coming into the stream, and there are people who are old and who will be retiring soon in the coming decades to come, because of which there is a huge gap in terms of the execution. And to bridge that gap, ideally there are two things which are happening a lot over here. Three things more. One is they are trying to fill it through technology, where AI is coming in, and AI would be doing a lot of day-to-day activities, so that uh, the focus could be more on the high-level stuff. Second is where these entities are setting up their offshore units in India, Philippines, or countries like that, and leveraging the employment opportunities over there and cost benefits and knowledge base over here. And third is this, which is the outsourcing part of it. Outsourcing industries also have like changed rapidly for last 5 years, because initially the way we used to have it and now people expectations are way different. Initially there were certain tasks that needs to be done, and if we have completed that, they were good enough. But now they are asking for more and more polished work, more and more finalization work. And what expectations that are coming in is more in terms of uh, like we can have a fully finalized reviewed work available with us, which we can just go through it, and if there is anything that needs to be taken care at our end, we do it, and rest has been done and dealt, which earlier was very different. We are just used to do a part of their work, and then they were used to do and complete it, and then send it to their clients for the delivery in that regards. So a lot of changes are happening in terms of outsourcing market. And these are some services which are in demand, which is audit support, tax outsourcing, forensic accounting, all those things. Plus, these cost benefits have always been a good benefit for us in terms of getting the right work, get it done. But there's only a one hiccup over here is, as a lot of people are approaching to these markets, it is becoming a lot of saturated. And for these, from the customer end, for them to look in terms of who is the ideal one out of it, this is becoming very difficult. And for that to happen, it is really important that practicing chartered accountants now go more digital and be and have certain digital presence in their LinkedIn profile or their Facebook or whatever content they are working around. Because I think this is how you can start differentiating yourself from the heap, and it would be much more simpler for the client also to choose you out of the whole heap which is out there. So this is something that we will take care of it later on.
Mm.
Sticking to the now, these are certain value-added advisory services. Advisory is something which is the cream, which is the cherry on the top. We provide all these audit services, transfer pricing, taxation services, but advisory is the one where the cream are. So if you are able to move forward from your bookkeeping, taxation, audit services, you can then take on with the advisory services. Or if you are already are delivering advisory services in India or a part nearby, then you can look around on these services for the UK front end. Because as I'm talking about, a lot of cross-border mergers, acquisition, due diligence are happening, not just at the multinational levels, but also at the SME levels also. And this is really creating good opportunities for us, the Indian chartered accountants, to be a part of it. And it's all the game of positioning now. If you're positioning yourself properly in the very starting, you will be the one who will be leading the frontier in that regards. Similarly, sustainability assurance and carbon footprint audit. This is something which is a niche and coming a lot these days in terms of demand. So for all those industries where these norms are applicable, such kind of audits are applicable, they are in demand of professionals who want them to get executed. So these are some value-added advisory services which I would suggest you can go along in that regards. As we are talking about it, what I want you to do is just uh, just make a note of in terms of what is your specialized area, what are the things that really interest you, and what are the certifications or skills that you can do around it, so that you can create a good strategy for yourself in terms of where and how you want to position yourself into the industry. And believe me, I won't suggest, if you're just getting started or if you're new to it, don't go for all the market in one go. Go for one market. Could be a UK market, could be a UE market or anyway. And in that UK market, also go niche down a bit. So if you are going for just M&A, just take a specific industry in terms of some M&A services that you want to offer for a specific industry. That way, your positioning would be much better, and your growth would be much more faster compared to other people. So this is not an age where now you can be a generalist. You need to be more specialized and more industry specific rather than being a generalist. And and especially when you are starting up, uh, accessing these new global markets, you will have to position yourself very, very upfrontly. Because if your positioning keep on changing, like for example, once you were just offering accounting services, now you're offering taxation services, now you're offering XYZ services, you will have to back up those services with the right credentials, right experience, right project backup, case studies, all those things. Because that is where the whole trust will. And this is the game of trust. Once you have built a good trust with the audience that you're trying to connect with, the market that you're trying to build on, you will be able to grow way faster into that regards. We can take questions in the Q&A session in the end of the part, if you have any questions around it. Next part that I want to talk about is are the key services that has been offered, that can be offered by the practicing chartered accountants to this market. When it comes to the compliance and reporting part, I think UK GAAP and IFRS is something, a reporting requirement that is something really essential when you're getting started with accounting part of it. And there are a lot of certifications programs which are available, which offers you UK GAAP and IFRS conversion in that regard. So having this knowledge would really help you uh, in terms of executing your services over there in a good manner. And what is expected out from a outsourcing partner is that they provide a quality service and they have knowledge of what they are doing in that regards. So this certifications is really important to back up your trust and to create that trust and back up uh, your positioning to get a client and to execute that project uh, effectively. Similarly, you can look around for VAT and GST advisory or cross-border indirect tax planning. Like, for example, if there are entities who have companies brought in UK, in India, or in Europe, or in Africa, or in any other part of the countries, then what would be the impacts of those specific services in terms of the compliance part of it? And last part is the AML and KYC framework. Anti-money laundering and KYC is something, fraud protections is something very strict in UK market, and they are very much rigid about it. So if you have certain offerings in that regards where you can introduce a tech or a tool which can streamline these AML and KYC frameworks, um, this is a very good market for you in that regards. Talking about next, advisory and transactional services, transaction services. So, how many of you are really into these kind of services, advisory and transactional services? Mm. Do I get to see the response anywhere of people who are putting yes or no anything? Mm. Okay. So, for those people who are offering advisory and transactional services in India, I think you should go and look around with the respective FEMA norms and all. And with these kind of services, you can really uh, command a niche over the market that we're talking about. The market is growing very aggressively, and they are very, very uh, there are very little technical know-how in terms of how to structure these kind of deals, how to structure these kinds of initiatives. So the high level management is expecting a lot in terms of expanding to different domain, but where they get stuck with is terms of how to structure the deals with the respective counterparts from the countries that they are looking for. And if you are someone who have good experience with it, you can be a very good player into the market that we're talking about. Next is our digital and tech enabled services. So I think there's a lot of things which are going around in technology, And I believe next 2 decades are all about technology and AI. And if practicing chartered accountants can build capability, can have resources, a team member who is not just an accountant or an audit professional, but also a developer, an engineer, then with those capabilities, we can start working on creating a a hybrid services in terms of technology, which would revolve around not only in terms of setting up their systems, but also helping them build those processes, software that they're looking working around, and be able to not only just helping them mobilize those things, but also help them customize it for their requirement. I think this is something that we are also looking in our practice to work around as a capability builder, where we'll be bringing developers into our roles. And these developers majorly will work around with them, with our foreign clients, and we'll understand what are their current softwares and systems that they are working around, and how we can really help them customize those things for their requirement. Along with that, there are other products in terms of the governance that you're looking for. It's like e-invoice, e-audit, data analytics, blockchain for supply chain transparency, BI, Power BI, AI-driven risk assessment tools. A lot of things are going on. And if we have a tech background, if there are like innovations that are coming around in terms of accounting and tax, then definitely we can uh, provide a first mover advantage into this industry and build a good market around there. Because lately, whenever I go over there or attend any conference or so, 90% of the time people are just talking about technology, the tool that they newly discovered, the tool that they are offering, the problem they'll be able to scale, uh, solve and scale in terms of with technology. So this is the major pie of the whole game that we're talking about. Those initial accounting, auditing, M&A, these things would be there, and those won't perish away anytime sooner. But this is a space where I'll say the good opportunities are there. And if we can build capabilities within ourselves to be tech enablers, where we understand technologies. And I think C Institute is doing a great job in terms of educating us in terms of the AI technological courses which are coming in. I think if we have also knowledge in terms of the basic coding, that would really help us in terms of being the market leaders in terms of uh, not just financial technology, but also in terms of, I'll say, professional technology that is coming in, which will cover audit, tax, accounting, compliances, all those things. And we are the best professionals who understand this market a lot. And with our knowledge and experience, and combined with the technological resource that I'm talking about, we can do wonders in that regards. So this is a very good opportunity that I've been talking about, and I'm giving a lot of weight over here because of this reason itself. Because um, traditionally, how we work around and think is in terms of the audit side of it, the tax side of it, the traditional services that we have been offering. But I think it's now time to upskill and have a radical change within ourselves, and we be able to see ourselves as an entrepreneur rather than more just a professional with a limited set of services, and be able to design solutions and products for our existing services to the clients in a way where it could be scaled at a multi-proportional level, be it at a national, global, on any scale that we're talking about. So this is a space I seriously recommend for all the practicing chartered accountants who are there attending the session, who will be looking at this video later on, uh, to really focus on building those technological capabilities within your practicing forms as well. Having said that, sustainability and ESG services, these are something which are day to day enforced by the compliance, by the governance in that regard. And the countries like UAE, UK, not UAE, UK, USA, they are very strict in that regards. And any deviations can really like a can wipe out the whole services as such. So having them audited, having those regulated. So what is required over here is that you just don't do the audit part of it, but also help them build those systems or processes that make sure that such kind of miscompliance does not happen in the coming future. It's more in terms of the predictable model that you're looking for instead of a prevention model. So they just want to prevent the whole things before it happens, rather than just firefighting after it happens in that regards. So if you have that kind of expertise in terms of the systems processes, along with the certifications in terms of the green technology, social audits, all those things, this is a good frontier for you that you can follow along. This is again a good niche that is available for you, where if you position it properly, you will be able to lead this market at a really good space. Having talked about all the services, I think I have some time with me available. Having talked about this, so there are certain skills and knowledge also which is required to deliver these services and capitalize these opportunities, because these opportunities are huge, and this is like a treasure chest which is available with us, and with this FTA to grab this opportunity, your skills and knowledge is the only weapon that is available with you, which can help you go move forward in this industry and capitalize these opportunities. So first, in terms of the technical competencies, IFRS, US GAAP, cross-border tax expertise, transfer pricing, digital tool proficiencies like Power BI, AI, blockchain, basics of coding. This is something which is very much required. I'm sure there are a lot of courses out there which are available for these things. And these courses would not only give you a good confidence in terms of execution, but also would really help you build that trust with your existing or new clients that are coming in with your practice. And little efforts that I want to give more is to the digital tool proficiency. Now we know how to use Excel, but now there are technologies that are coming in terms of Power BI. We have Document Studio, Power BI, Zoho Analytics. All these tools are there, which when integrated with AI can create wonderful reporting structures. And the major problem that I see across globe is in terms of organizing the data, because mostly all the companies that we're looking at, or uh, the processes are so complex that data is scattered across different places, and to organize it, and to after organizing it, bringing it, reporting it in a way which creates an actionable insight for the user. That is the key element over here. And for that to happen, we need to have some level of knowledge of these tools, so that while we are executing our services, we do it more efficiently and we raise our standards in that regard as well. Certain soft skills and business acumen that needs to be looked around. Now, this I'll be very UK specific, because in my experience, with different regions and market that you're talking about, it changes. And when it comes to UK as such, people out there in UK are very, I'll say, very repo oriented. They are people oriented. They want to know you. They want to understand you. They want to have trust with you before at least going into a transaction level of a project with you. So it is really important that you have good communication skills, good business etiquettes, and you have that patience to build a repo. If you are directly going over there pitching to a client, it it creates a very bad repo. What you have to do is be available for them, show them that you are really serious, and this comes with your communication and etiquette in that regard. You will have to go over there, experience their culture, and once you experience their culture, then only you will be able to understand what is the kind of um, requirement that is expected in terms of that. So, for example, first time I went to UK, the biggest cultural shift for me was that over there by 4 p.m., 5 p.m. by 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., uh, mostly the works gets wind up. This is the summertime that I'm talking about. And post 5 p.m., they are more into their other activities, the work-life balance activities that we're talking about. And for me, it was a shift, a shock. Why? Because in India, we have not been trained this way. We have not grown in this way. Because for us, normal working hours till 6, 7, 8, 9, it could be anything. So we don't have those boundaries with us in terms of our work time. But when we talk about the clients who are sitting in UK, they have a very defined and clear work boundaries. They know this is the time by which I talk, I do my work activities, and this is what you'll have to respect with them. So, in all your communications, in all your deliverables, you'll have to make sure whatever norms, whatever boundaries or cultural things that they have in place, you follow. Your team follows along with them. So, building the soft skills is a really important part, and understanding their culture is much more important part for you as a professionals if you're going into this market. Client relationship manager and stakeholder mapping, it all depends on the rapport that you have built in terms of the understanding that you do. And in UK, I'll be very factual that they are they are people oriented. Unlike in US, where they are more professional, where it's more of like a work to work related talk, they want to talk about other things also, like what is happening in their life, or on a personal level, obviously, but on a like a casual business interaction that way. So you need to have that kind of etiquettes and communications where you are not just only talking about work. You're talking about other relevant things also, which is relating to their business or industry, where which they can talk about in that regards. And last is the negotiation skills for advisory and procurement bids. So this is something it, which comes over time with confidence as you're growing, as you start having an experience of 3 to 4 clients in your pool in your business, you get to understand what are the negotiations benchmarks that you need to stick around, how to hold upon it, how not to give up on it. And believe me, by lowering the standards, by lowering the cost, would not help you out that matter. You'll have to provide services to the utmost standard, and to uphold those standards, you'll have to price yourself properly. If you go below those price, things won't be sustainable for you at all. We have been into so situations where we have underpriced at times just to get a customer, but that has a very backfiring effect on us only. So it is really important then while you're negotiating, you know what is the level of pricing that you have to offer and what is the level of quality that you have to offer. And once you are aware of that, I think this would be a piece of cake. Taking on the regulatory and legal awareness, you need to have a knowledge of their law in terms of their FTA laws, rules and certifications. Not only those, but also the local laws in terms of the payroll, auditing, audit standards which are going along, the environmental and labor laws, anti-corruption laws, data privacy rules. Because while we are delivering these services, UK market is a very, I'm repeating this again, is very strict in terms of compliances. So if you are not complying in any of these cases, or if you are doing certain activities which uh, does not go in line with the laws of the nation, then you can have a serious repercussions around it. So it is really important that you know what are the laws of the nature of the nation. One important element that I want to talk about and highlight is data privacy. Data privacy is of utmost importance to your client. So it is really important to have that data infrastructure, data security infrastructure at your end, at a software level, at a hardware level, at a physical location level, all the other certifications required in that regards. And once you have that, this you need to showcase it to your client as well, saying that for the data privacy and security, we have these procedures, hardware, and software in place who ensures that the data is safe with us when we are dealing with it. Now, this is something for the people who are just getting started or who are there in the market, but they're looking for new ideas to cut along with it. So, all those people who are looking for it, let's go for the first step, which is upskill and certify. So if you are planning to go into the UK market, first go and enroll into the fast track program of ICAEW and become a practicing chartered accountant over there. So plan one of the partners in plan a partner in your firm who can enroll and do a certification, and then go for these other short courses of relating to UK IFRS, UK accounting, UK gap of IFRS, and other digital reporting part of it. So first, always upskill and certify. Until unless you have that kind of skills in your bucket, you won't have the confidence to move forward. Because with this upskilling, you will have the knowledge to go along with it, and you will have the confidence to move forward into your journey of exploring the market. Second is building partnership. Now, this is the most difficult part of all the work that you'll be doing because certification is also easy. We just enroll to a course, we study it, prepare for the exam, get the results, and tada, we are professionals out there with certificates. But building partnership is something which is very difficult. And for this to happen, as I mentioned earlier, you will have to be more now visible in the market. You'll have to create your digital presence out there. You'll have to showcase yourself as an expert in whatever niche that you are targeting. And while you are doing so, you will have to uh, you have to be active in the events, physical or digital events, which are happening across different bodies, different organizations, different industries, various conferences, trainings, all those things which happens. And these are the places where the actual partnership happens. Believe me, in my experience, things have changed a lot. 5 years, 6 years down the lane, the if I used to mail a specific global client asking for inquiring for a service for that we wanted to pitch, the ratio was 10 is to 1. If we used to do 10 mails, then one person was the one whom we were able to set up a call with. But now this has moved from 10 is to 1 to 1000 is to 1. So if you're sending and connecting with sending mails to 1000 people out there, it's a possibility that you will be able to get one or two calls registered for that because conversions is very different now. So it is really important to be available and present in these industries. You'll have to move out of your comfort zone. If you are in your cities, you'll have to move out your cities, go to different part of India. First, start with that, and then start with the plan a trip in UK. Go over there, explore, meet people, have attend networking events over there, connect. A lot of Indians are there out in UK. Obviously, you can find connections out there, and through those initial network, you can set up meetings out there. There are other networking organizations also which you can join and be part of it, so that you can access the global network out there. So the whole point is that uh, you'll have to be out there so that you can meet new people, you can meet collaboration, you can do joint ventures, you can if you do want to a PE private equity also, then this is something which you'll have to go on. Once you have that experience, skill certificates, and you have that partnership, then next step is to pilot and showcase. Once you have built up a good repo with someone, you can then start asking for small related works that go along with it. And I think initial 2, 3 works that we do, is more of a transactional nature, where I'll say there's exchange of service and money in that regard. Then that is where you start building trust. So initial stages are just to build a repo, and this is the stage where you start building trust now. So once you finish up and deliver a service in that regard and do a uh, good quality standard, then you move forward in that regards. Most of the time, I've seen we oversell ourselves. We tell them what we are not, or we do stuff or showcase stuff in terms of our experience, our expertise, anything that in regards, and just to get land up a client. But once we get a land up a client, and we are not able to deliver that client in terms of the services that we have promised, then it backfires on you again. So it is really important that you make sure that you position yourself properly and you are positioning yourself in those domains where you are of utmost confidence that you can deliver to an utmost standard. The best part for Indians over here is that our reputation compared to other nations like Philippines, Africa, and all, our the professions is are looked at a respectable level. We are recognized to a good standard, which gives us an upper hand. But if we don't meet those expectations, then that is a very backfiring situation, not only for you, but also for our entire CA community as such. So stick to the standards that we're talking about, and then scale and diversify. So once you have got a good flavor of how things were working out there, you have done certain partnership collaborations with CPA firms out there, then what you can do is you can now go for joint ventures, or you can invest into a private equity, get a equity holding out there, and then you will have a firm out there and in India where you will be able to execute and do things more properly and scalability. So once that thing is done, then you can move out and start acquiring the other small firms and having the share of global market into your picture. So that is like a very aggressive stage, later stage for scalability. Before that, you'll have to go with the stage of upskilling knowledge, building repo, delivering few clients, meeting to their expectations, repeating getting repeated customer services. And then once you have got good flavor with it, then you can go out there and have a joint venture or a private equity offering over there. Second thing also that you can do is you can go beyond service. You can go into a technological tool part or a ESG work or a digital assurance work, where instead of offering a service, you are offering a product to your niche market because of your experience and know-how and a developer that you have or a collaborator partner that you have who's a technical partner. You have built a tool which serves the market, which solves the problem of that market, and that could be scaled at a good level. So once these things are done, it's really a good possibility to move along with that. Thank you. So before I end the sessions, what I would want you to do is um, get get straight and highlight three key takeaways that you can get out of this whole session that we have right now, and jot down your questions if you have any. We can go into that specific round. So,
Yes, sir.
so Nidhi, that
Yes,
would
sir.
be
Tell
for now.
the three takeaways which you told earlier. What are these three takeaways which we had to be?
I think these key takeaways for someone who is into service could be, like for example, migration. They can look for projects and assignments in UK, and they can do an assignment out there like a sabbatical or a project out there, which is for 3 years or less. That would be a good benefit for them. For professionals out there who are trying to outsource into the market, I think one takeaway that is there for them is that digital visibility is now the only game through which you can position yourself correctly.
Yeah.
And it's important that you position yourself very discreetly basis your expertise. And thirdly, there's a lot of options, opportunity out there, and the market is really, really big. Everyone has a good share in that regards. So collaborations, not within just the cross-border collaborations within India also is a good way forward for expanding their capabilities as such.
And sir, you told that you should be a good, I mean, you have a knowledge of a coding and all. So don't you think, sir, we are the professional, we are not the coders. So it would be quite difficult, better to hire the coding person. Would you
No,
think so?
personally, I don't have a coding knowledge as of now. I'll be very
Okay.
true in that. But what I meant to say is that having a basic knowledge of coding, just
Okay.
the fundamentals of it, is good enough for now. Because what happens is, in my experience, once you are dealing with some technological people,
Yeah.
and you need to just understand their language. And just to
Okay.
understand their language and interpret it to your client, you will
Yeah.
need this kind of.
Okay. And one more thing, sir, you have you told that I mean there is one word in your PPTs, forensic accounting, right?
Mhm.
You just elaborate on this word
So,
basically.
so basically, a fraud is something which is a strict norm everywhere.
Yeah.
And to mitigate the fraud, there are certain forensic audits that needs done. And forensic accounting is more in terms of uh, like making sure that your trail, like your cash trail, which is going on, this is properly taken and not like not fraudulently trailed in that regards.
So there is a need for forensic accounting because the forensic accounting is somewhat near, in India. It is more privileged, but I
It's
don't.
more, I think, in terms of audit than
Yeah,
accounting that is there. Yeah,
but it is there also. There is
correct,
one area basically you
correct.
wanna say, right?
Yes.
And you told about this one thing also, this software customization.
Mhm.
So how do we proceed with this particular area?
See, how it works is, say, for example, if you are working a practicing chartered accountant in UK,
Yes.
you know how the practice is there in India. You know
Yeah.
how they work over there. Now,
Mm.
say, for example, they are using software out there, which is, uh, say, their accounting software.
Hmm.
Now they want a customization to be done in their accounting software so that they can streamline their workflow. So if
Okay.
you have that kind of knowledge with it, you can
Okay.
pitch your client that way, that we not just do the accounting for you, but we'll also customize the workflow for you so that more automations could be set up and your deliveries could be more streamlined.
Okay. And sir, can you share one or two of your experience where you found it difficult in some of the other area, matlab,
Any specific area that you talk about?
any area which you found it difficult, that it is quite difficult to take the clients and then something like that?
I think the most difficult part for us these days is building, being consistently creating a good visibility and building rapport with new customers.
Okay.
But these are something which go hand on because uh, I think we need to have a good balance in terms of the work that we do on day-to-day basis, the content development that happens, and the content distributions. A lot of thought work needs to go along with that. So this cycle is a very complicated cycle, specifically for the practicing professionals who are tied up with so many work already in their list. That way.
Okay. So whether they require any partnership firm or proprietor can do by himself to take these assignments and all, what they need basically, the firm base, what they need.
I think there's no mandate requirement as such. The whole thing is in terms of the capability.
Okay.
Being a proprietor, do you have a good team with you who can help, who can execute the services properly or not? So depending on depending on the kind of service also that we're talking about, because for certain services like audits or something like that,
Yeah.
not only we need a qualification, but also we need to have certain resource set also with us. So
Okay.
that is really.
So, I mean, you say you have to have a good amount of team in somewhat like 50s and hundreds, right?
No, see, as technology is coming in, if you
Yeah.
are good technologically governed,
Trained person.
the technology governed firm,
Okay.
then with few employees also you can deliver high quality stuff.
Okay.
But
So,
that proprietorship partnership or a company, that's not a mandate anywhere to get a business.
so technology should go with side to side. I mean, it's
I
important
think
part
yes,
basically
yes.
for these
Technology is something which is
services.
really important, and to automate our workflows and systems in a way so that we can reduce the work of our team also, the manual work which they do, and upskill them to a level where they can do more of an analytical job, more of a thinking job rather than a manual job that they're doing.
So have you also taken on this, installed some of the other specific softwares in your office to do all these works, sir?
Currently, like for our Indian operations, we are using Zoho Suite as such.
Okay.
So we have been using Zoho Desk to manage all your customer support services all that way. We have a dedicated meeting channels over there. And the one thing that we are doing right now is to cope up with the AI requirement also is that we are documenting a lot of our meetings, our training programs, our Q&As, and building resources around it. Because for us to implement AI into a form also, AI needs a lot of content, a lot of data to be trained upon. So the right now, the one thing that we are doing is we are in a stage where we are documenting each and everything in terms of audio, text, or a video.
Okay. So there are some questions from the audience side. So first one is how India bases will get professional opportunity.
Can you repeat that?
How India bases will get professional opportunity.
Indian basis.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not clear about the question.
Yeah, I'm also not clear because he
but what I can but what I can understand is if the participant is asking for what are the professional opportunities for the Indian firms.
Maybe.
If that is the case, then I think the opportunities is in specialization. I'll talk it this way because now the world is about positioning. Opportunities is about positioning because if you are generalist, no one will really see you as a good professional. But when you talk about, like, for example, I am a accounting expert in a solar industry with a turnover of 100 crores and more, then if you are positioning yourself in that way, then a lot of opportunities would come around in your way, not just for the Indian regards, but also in terms of the other areas that we're talking about.
Thank you, sir. Now, the second question come up is this. Can you elaborate on registering the firm in UK and what rights it would provide? Like, would it be allowed to UK without visa?
Okay. So there are two things over here. One is your company registration.
Yeah.
And once your partners get registered over here, then there are certain visa exceptions that are available to you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, once you are registered over there and you as a partner are also registered over there, and then once you apply for the visa in India, then there's like a business visa which is available, which is of a benefit to them.
Okay.
Which is more easily accessible and which is a long-term one for the operate.
And the other one is how to register the firm in UK. Participant is asking, yeah.
So for registering, I think it's a pretty simple job. It's an online process only, like we do in MCA. If you can go into the respective website, now there are two things to it. One is the company registration. So for the company registration, if you want to register as a company over there, then it's just similar to like a MCA website which we do over here. It is all a digital process. You'll have to go to the respective company registration site over there and fill the form, upload the KYCs, things would be done. But it's much more easier if you have a partner out there who is president over there, because then the little procedural works can dealt out over here. Right?
So do we have a virtual office also over there?
Is your question that do we need a virtual office out there? Is it?
I'm just asking, do we need or it is better to open the virtual office over here to get the work in something like that?
See, to register, you will have to need an address. And an address, initially, if you don't have a place, you'll have to get a virtual address over there.
Okay.
And then register your company over there with that address.
Another one is, sir, I do offer IDT advisory service for M. As you about the 25% tariff is imposed by USA. So do you think that this situation, along with these FTAs with European countries, will shift foreign trade from America to Europe to any extent?
See, that is something. The global trades are very unpredictable, and I'm not at a stage where I can comment upon it. But what my judgment uh, see, my analysis say about the current global market is right now, US is at a very different uh, trade game because the way they are changing their policies, the way they are dynamically shifting their views in terms of the political regards. I think over some time, it a lot of other countries won't pay much of attention to it. It's something like that. Once you keep doing a lot of changes, then the confidence, the trust that you have, that goes depleted over a period of time. So I think the similar impact they would have if the US keeps on changing and their political views or their policies in that regards, just on those on unrealistic or I'll say unprofessional, uneconomical decisions that we are talking about.
Okay.
So it to answer your question, in my personal judgment, I don't think so. There would be much change. Uh, it would be in more of a favor of India only because right now India is like a center of all the trade with a lot of professionals out there, and this resource base that we have, that is our gain. And not only this, India is among those highest consumer market also. So a lot of countries want to tie up with India and have trade with them. So as we are talking about this FTA is much more beneficial for an European country than it's for a Indian company because through us they'll be able to increase their GDP three times, not just with us, but because of this free trade agreements and the opportunity that comes along with it.
Another question, sir. How can we approach for the UK small clients directly having some experience of traditional CA practice? Also, belonging to a traditional Marwadi family from Bhilwara, Rajasthan, how can I grow my practice abroad?
Okay. So I think first thing that you'll have to do is you'll have to go out of your comfort zone. When I say comfort zone, you'll have to move out of Bilwara. Say, for example, when I started with it, how I did was I started attending networking events. Like, for example, Institute keep on doing a lot of events, like AI events and all. So first, I would recommend you to is start moving out from your Bilwara, from whatever cities that you're located in. And once you get uncomfortable, or when you once you get comfortable moving out, then what insights that you will get from attending these networking events in terms of, say, for example, if I were you, I would have starting going out of the Bilwara and started attending those conferences, seminars that are relating to globalize, like a global accounting or global taxation or global advisory trades that way. And once I go over there, I'll find other peoples who are in the similar line as I am. And from them, I will get to know, okay, these are the opportunities available. This is how it's done. This is the way it's going on. And with that insight, when you will come back again to your city, you will be able to see, okay, these are the three things now I have to do. Then once you do those three things, then again, the whole cycle keeps on moving this way. Then you'll be able to see, okay, I moved from this place to this place. Now these are the other three things that I have to do, and you do that. So the whole idea is that if you want to do it, um, go global, first you'll have to go global in that regards. So don't think your practicing firm is in Bilwala. Think that you are based out in the earth as such. And globally, you have access to all the market. And when I say globally access, for you also, you need to globally be available at any space, any part of the world. When you are able to make that mindset, I think things will automatically start building.
Sir, if some or the other person does not have a very good in base for digital marketing or somewhat like digitally strong, so what he or she will do?
I think you don't. Well, I don't think so. You need a dedicated team or a resource to build a content around it. With AI coming in, if you just train yourself to use these AI tools to build content for you in your tone, and then you build this content in a good, consistent manner, it is good enough. Like for example, if you're building just two or three content only a week and posting it on your LinkedIn, that is good enough. You don't have to see it like a very aggressive marketing thing, which happens a lot. As a practicing chartered accountants, we just need to be out there, be consistent, and these platforms. See, I'll again be in that context. These platforms will favor us by default.
Yeah.
Reason is because we are already experienced, expert, and knowledgeable people, and when we are putting our knowledge into a content, that is far more better than a content which is placed by an influencer. So over a period, your content would automatically help you get that visibility that is there. Only thing is that you'll have to be consistent in that factor. And you don't need high resources in it. Just have a good AI tool, work upon it, upskill yourself, and start building
Go
content.
ahead. The next one is, sir, for the first time, how do you think that the client would build a confidence on you? It's quite difficult for to
See,
present or to have.
see, confidence is built way after you have done your services. So,
But
like
this
for
is for the
example,
first time.
for first time, what you can do is you can just build a repo with them. So for that also, before they even meet you, you need to have a digital presence where
Okay.
they have already heard about you or they have already seen you multiple times. It's similar like you're buying a branded product.
Yeah.
Before buying, say for example, Apple iPhone, you would have seen it multiple
Yeah.
times with your friends or with other people or in that way. Similarly, with digital visibility, you need to be visible in front of your that first client. So once you're visible and once you are in network with them, like for example, if they are in your connections in your LinkedIn or Facebook and you're posting content, so it's not the first time they are seeing you. They'll be
Yeah.
seeing you multiple times. And once they come as a prospect in terms of a specific service request, they would have experienced with you before. So that repo would have built that like Nidhi Agarwal is already an expert in this and she has been talking about this a lot. And I'm sure she will be the one who will be able to help me out with this problem that I'm facing right.
Oh. Another one is, what are some ESG certification courses one can do to enter this domain?
That I'll have to explore. Personally, I'm not into I'm the right person who can address that one.
Oh. Another one is how we connect with accounting and tax professionals in UK.
How can you
Yeah,
repeat that
how
question?
we connect with accounting and tax professionals in UK.
Okay. So I think this landscape has changed a lot. As I was talking about earlier on, also initially once when we used to email them out of 10, one used to respond, but now the equation has gone like in thousands. So it has become very difficult for you to connect. But now again, what is working for us is like my LinkedIn profile. When I'm consistently posting my content, I'm at the same time sending connection requests to CPAs in UK or UAE or USA. And once I build a connection with them, I engage with their content also. So once I am engaging their content and they start engaging with their content, that is where I get to know, okay, this person now knows me virtually at least. And then from there, once you have built a repo, you reach out to them, you have a call with them, not with the intent of selling your services. That is the biggest mistake one do when in the first call or first thing only they start selling their services. It's just that you just have to talk to them, understand them, and make them feel okay. You are not here to sell services, but it's just you are there to build a network. And and I think magic happens once that understanding is built. It takes times.
Yes.
I remember one of my clients got converted after 9 months. It took 9 months to start that whole process of building that network, nurturing connections, and then, but it takes time. But this is the best way of building the relationship and getting that new client. That would be everlasting. And at the same time, that would be that one client will give you next three clients automatically as compared to a direct selling. And
Another question is, sir, whether any requirement to do ACCA for UK based opportunity?
no, ICAW is good enough. ACCA is not well recognized in UK as such. But if you're looking for UK market, ICAW is good enough.
Another one is, what is general cost benefit analysis compared to Indian income for VCAs? Mean how much more can be earned in net in general in UK compared to Indian income, approximately percentage if you have calculated?
See, it all depends on the kind of services that you are offering. So, like now, we are into purely accounting and payroll outsourcing services. So, for us, um, the margins that we keep around is the margin for us is somewhere between 30 to 40%, but we push it to 20% only because that extra 10-20% we are investing in ourselves, in we're building those capabilities, tools, training our employees, all those things. So anyway, the cost benefit analysis that you're looking for, it's better because what I'm understanding is if you're earning in a foreign currency and you're spending in a domestic currency, you are automatically
Bridge the gap.
you have already way far better in terms of cost benefit analysis.
Thank you, sir. Another one is, can we, as a CA in practice, set up our office in UK? Is there any understanding between two countries?
So if you want to set up your office in UK, there's two ways to it. One is you register a company over there, and then you do a ICAW over there. You do a certification ICAW over there, and then you set up a firm over there. And with the license of ICAW, you can start doing the audit accounting work which you want to do for them.
I mean, directly, there is no need.
They don't need. A second way is that you can, if you have any connection network out there, you can reach out to these small, medium practicing firms. You mutually agree between the terms, conditions. You get to know each other. You buy certain equity of their firm, and then they become the front end for certain period, and you become the back end for them. That. And then if you want to position yourself as the face after some period, after 3 years, 4 years, the partner out there uh, would lower their visibility over a period, and you will become the face of the organization.
Sir, what are the work where there is a certification required? Because in Zoho accounting, I don't think there is a certification required.
Certification
to certify any reports and something like that. I'm just asking this.
For certification, I think ICAW is good enough.
Good
if
enough.
You have that, good enough in that. Only thing is certification is required in terms of like for example, IFRS or UK GAAP. So in that regard, you need to have that kind of knowledge with you so that you can, while you're preparing accounting work for them and while preparing reports for them, finalizing, you are in the right tone.
And another thing is, sir, is there any reports or you have to give the reports on which you have to sign something like that? Which type of work basically? You have to put a signature. It's just like in India, we have to take UDINs and all. Is there anything something like that also for these works?
I think it's same in the signing part is same like in India over there also. If you are into audit and all those areas, then that is where you'll have to sign. But UDIN is something which is unique initiative done by CA Institute over here only, and it's not available at UK right now.
Okay. Another question is, how do we reach out to UK clients simplest way? LinkedIn, freelancing platforms? How do we get their emails?
So again, I'll say if you're looking at with the terms of getting emails, it would land you nowhere. Okay. Better approach is you be active on LinkedIn, build repo, build connections, and with that connection, set up a call.
Okay.
Because emails, if you're going for, then you'll have to mail 1,000 people to get that one or two or
One or
three
two.
calls
Yeah.
set up.
Okay.
So that will take a lot of time and energy. And
Yeah.
I'm sure if you have that kind of patience with you, I think all the best. Otherwise, patience is something you'll require both.
Yeah, exactly. In these markets, you have to be patient enough to get the work, I think. Yeah.
Correct.
Another question come up is this: as a new practicing CA, which market or area to target first, where opportunities are better in respect of other markets?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, just a minute. As a new practicing CA, which market or area to target first, where opportunities are better in respect of other markets? I mean, he or she would like to discuss whether US market is better or UK market is better to
Okay.
go, I think.
So I'll say opportunities are vast everywhere in every niche. You'll have to think it in a way like which area are you good in, confident in, expertise in. Say, for example, if you're good with tax, then there are a lot of good tax opportunities everywhere. If you're good with accounting, if you're good with audit, the opportunities are good in that way. So rather than thinking what are the best opportunities, you'll have to see what is the best thing that you can deliver, and then you look for that opportunity, build that opportunity, position yourself accordingly, and get that opportunity for you.
Okay. Uh, can you suggest specifically some of the certification courses to start with? Also, is it beneficial if these certification courses are ICAI affiliated, or can it be done with independent platform also? Let's say Udemy or any other platform.
Okay. So, like the courses that I want to talk about over here is one is I'll say you do it with a recognized body because that is where the trust comes in more. So, like for example, there are entities like KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, ICI, ICAEW. All these entities provide certain certification courses. If you go with them, I think the recognition is better and it's more acceptable in that matter. And when you talk about certifications in UK, in that regard, I think IFRS certification, UK GAAP certification, you can go along with that. Other certifications that are there are one is FEMA. FEMA is important thing. Like in Indian FEMA, if you are aware of it, then any transactions which are happening within countries, that will give you a good insight in that regards.
Another question come up is this: how can one find UK India professional services working group forums and how to approach them in order to join them?
Okay. So there are two forums in a way that I'm talking about. One is the physical forums, which are the seminars, conferences, trainings, which happens across nations, across countries, for a specific outsourcing related stuff. So you can go out there, attend those conferences, events, trainings relating to outsourcing, and through that you can build associations. Second is digitally, there are a lot of groups on Facebook, on LinkedIn, relating to these forums where people talk about cross-border or local groups out there. There are a lot of WhatsApp groups also out there. So I think you just uh, becoming part and adding yourself into those specific group, and you figure it out. This group is better and this is not, and then you move along that way. The hierarchy.
Okay. Another question is I think it is same. Any network forum to get outsource work in it audits, uh, to audits process optimization. I don't know what he or she wanna say this. Any network forum to get outsource work in IT audits or process optimization.
Okay. So, I have not come across any organization in right now who give referrals or who provide opportunities for leads for auditing, accounting, tax, because these are something professional things which are there.
Yeah.
And this is only given to those where initially client need to trust. So where the trust is required, I don't think so. It goes very freely into as such market. So I don't think so there is any organization which can help you in that regards. But yes, there are networking groups which you can be a part of, and through that networking groups, you can uh, you can interact with people out there, business owners out there. Like one group that I'm aware of is BNI. BNI is a global networking groups, and if you're part of it, you can attend uh, the BNI meetings or in UK, the online meetings, and through online meetings you can at least build a repo, and then from there you can start one-to-one calls, discussions with them, and if things go right and you're positioning yourself right, then you can start getting work that way.
Another question is that, sir, how do you bid for taking these work? I mean, it's quite difficult for bidding
So
process.
I don't think so we do a bidding kind of things. What is there is, I for executing a service, I know this is the cost that I'm bearing, my team would have to bear it at time, and this is the margin that I have to have. If the client goes around the quotation that I'm talking about, it's good enough. Negotiation happens, but not to an extent where I'm cutting my margins to a good to significant fact and work around. And this question is not much relevant in the international context, because I'm getting the ideology behind this because a lot of Indian clients do these kind of cost cutting things, but international clients, they don't think much about it.
They don't.
If you are providing good services, whatever price you quote, they are ready to pay.
I mean, they don't believe in this negotiation and all.
Then
They
they do
basically want
negotiation.
quality work.
They do negotiation and all, but the thing is, for them, it's more. See, anyway, for them, what is happening is they are paying, say, for example, $1,000 for a services, and now we are positioning ourselves below $1,000. So whatever we are offering,
They
that
kept
is
it.
better for them only. So
Yeah.
they are okay with that.
Yeah.
So that is why that negotiation is there, but not a not compromising the quality.
So quality would be the first preference for them, right?
Yes.
Quality work. Yeah. So this is so all about these question and answer session, and this is all about your very much good deliverables, which actually finds a good for all of us, for all the participants. So with this, not more any more question will come up. So with this, we come to an end of today's webinar. And I think it is clear that the India UK FTA is not just a trade agreement, but it's a bridge, one that connects talent with opportunity, ambition with access, and innovation with global platforms. So I sincerely thankful to our today's good deliverable speaker, I would say, Piyush Bansalji and the Global Udan persons organizers for making this seminar thought provoking and forward looking. Thank you all.
Thank you, Nitin.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing how this dialogue translates into action in the near future. And I hope, sir, these are around 700 participants are there. So I hope everybody enjoyed this session and take the good opportunity for further work and something like that. So we'll definitely be in touch with you. Just put your LinkedIn profile, I mean LinkedIn link, and just uh, there's connections with how to connect with you. And I hope it's helpful for all of us.
Yeah, I'll just share the slide
Yeah.
which was there, which has the barcode, and for the participants, the ending notes, I'll just say this way that I think just look around with three basic actionables that you can look for.
Yeah.
And which you can take from this seminar, this webinar. And it's a good journey. There are a lot of opportunity out there, and visibility is the only game that will help you start this journey altogether. And moving out of your comfort zone, moving out of your cities is another thing that you need to think about while you're going.
And I think, sir, you should be well prepared basically before you fall into this market, right?
Correct.
Otherwise, so nowhere you will not stand anywhere basically. So this should be understood by all participants, I think.
Yes. See, it's similar like remember your initial days when you set it up, you
Yeah,
started your practice, where you were just experiencing the market initially.
yeah,
And then once that experience was done, then you were able to figure out how to position yourself. It
yeah,
is just something similar only. Only thing is now, because it's a global market, you'll have to be very specific in terms of whether you want to be in UK, UAE, Australia, US, where it is. And in that area, what are those environments, cultural part of it
yeah.
that can help you place properly.
So, sir, there are lots many works we have discussed. And in just one line, just tell all the participants which area you will get more easily, basically, whether it would be Zoho accounting or something like other area. Just uh, give a one or two lines on that, please.
See, I think um, if you're talking about the low hanging fruits, which are easy
Yeah.
to grab, uh,
Definitely, you get it
uh,
more clear, I think.
uh, so I think accounting is a very bookkeeping and accounting is a low hanging fruit in that regards
Yeah, yeah,
because uh, this is a like a, for us also see it this way, like if you have clients, accounting is something that you want to delegate first,
yeah,
then is the tax, then is the audit.
yeah.
Similarly, out there also accounting is something which they want to outsource first
Okay.
easily.
Yeah. So, with this, sir, thank you so much again. Keep in touch with all our participants and with your moderator for the today's. Thank you so much for sharing and for helping you as a moderator in this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you for your time. And thank you for the whole Udan team also to make it happen. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.